Did I really just see Izumi call people humans? Like he says, get out of my way, humans. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. So, this episode of Parasyte, a very deep episode. This episode is very deep. Like, there's a lot of meaning behind this episode that it could be easy to miss. And when I saw some of the meaning that was displayed in this episode, I was like, holy shit, this is impressive. It really is. I mean, it's not the most impressive thing ever, but I mean, there was some very good content in this episode that really showcased what is going on with our fellow Parasyte teacher or college student, whatever she's doing right now. But pretty much, we find out that Roko actually has some motherly instincts. So, as I said a long time ago, I don't know, it's been about 7 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks, it's been a long time. Well, I remember mentioning that maybe it might be possible that there might be motherly instincts. Well, with this episode, pretty much that proves true. What I talked about proves true with this episode because we find out a little bit of discussion about DNA and how DNA affects, you know, different creatures and organisms in society, and sometimes there's like a selfish gene and stuff like that, and depending on if the gene or the survival of the DNA wants to continue to be passed on, it can kind of override the organism's sense of being itself. Like, let's say if we were a human, like the instinct of that gene will override what we really want to do. To see this displayed, once again, goes to the very basics and fundamentals of Parasyte, pretty much going to the core of the series with genes, DNA, stuff like that, and instinct. For instance, the Parasyte's instinct, as we know, was given an order to actually eat humans, as we found out multiple episodes ago. And pretty much you have it to where the Parasyte that now has had a child has now gotten that actual motherly instinct to activate. So, the instincts of a human being is actually messing with the instincts of a Parasyte. And that's pretty much what we have showcased in this episode, and I want to clap for that real quick, because I love how this series really dives into instincts, human instincts, Parasyte instincts, along with talking about DNA and genes, selfish genes, motherly instincts, stuff like that. Just, it's something I really love. I really love that type of stuff. But anyways, the thing is, okay, Roko actually, at this moment, she is overpowered by the human genes, technically, and you can see something really going on in a psychological level. Like, her psyche is being fucked with because she's a mother, technically. Like, in this episode, we see actual examples of her mindset changing as a Parasyte, and right there, I'm looking at like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. Like, we see her smile. At first, when I saw her smile in this episode, I'm like, holy shit, what? Whoa, she's smiling. Like, I first keyed in on it, I'm like, have we ever seen a Parasyte really smile? That's what I was thinking. And then we see her start laughing. I'm like, okay, there's something really wrong right now. Like, something really is wrong. She is laughing. A Parasyte showing emotions and laughing about a human cowering before her, pretty much. And, like, laughing at his, you know, situation. So, Roko is changing. She is definitely, you know, I guess, getting emotions. Now, this might explain what is going on with Migi. It actually explains, but before I get into the Migi stuff, let's talk more about Roko. So, pretty much, with this, we found out that Parasytes can be affected. They can be affected by the DNA and instincts of a human being. And that's obvious as day now with this episode. But, I wonder, does the emotions or the laugh that technically she is currently going through, does it have to do with the baby? Or does it have to do with actually mixing with a human body and having the DNA mix, pretty much? I wonder. I really, really wonder if she might start showing emotions. Because, while laugh is a credible step for a Parasyte, definitely, from what we have seen from the series. Now, moving past that, talking about the other things I want to mention, let's talk about Migi and Izumi. So, in this episode, and it has technically been discussed a couple times now, slowly hinted at, like, through majority of episodes for the past 5 weeks, but I pretty much have not talked about it too much, but with this episode, Migi pretty much talks to this investigator. It says, like, oh, do you realize what life he's had to live? He's had to kill his own mother. You know, his Parasyte went into his mother. He had to kill that. He's lived this hard and burdened life through this entire time he's been stuck with me. And pretty much Migi talks about this, and the way he actually displays this conversation is like Migi actually feels sorry for Izumi. And the way Izumi states, after that conversation, he thought Migi was actually putting up an act to make the situation more believable. But I feel like there's something else going on here. Migi has clearly shown changes in his overall psychological state, the way he looks at things and perceives things as a parasite, because he's done a lot of different things that he normally wouldn't have done at the beginning of the series. Like, I mean, let's look at this, okay? Migi, the way he stated that is something unparasite-like, even for Migi. Even if he was wanting to fake that, Migi once stated in the earlier episodes that he can't comprehend human emotions. He can't. He doesn't understand it. And now it seems like he's actually starting to grasp human emotions. So you see the actual changes going on with Migi, too. It's not just Izumi changing into, like, a parasite. It's also Migi changing into more of a human. And to see this, it's incredibly interesting technically how the roles have been kind of reversed. I mean, Migi's still a parasite, but you see how he's got more compassion in him, at the very least for Izumi, to be honest. I mean, at first, you have it to where they wanted to coexist, but now you can see how Migi really wants to protect Izumi, and actually care for his life. So you see that a lot. So, moving past that, talking about the other aspects of this episode, the episode, besides those aspects with the motherly instinct and Migi's changes, you have the entire investigation going on with the dude, the investigator, that wants to know more. He continues to investigate, you know, Migi and Izumi, and he's kind of getting into deeper shit. As he continues to investigate, eventually he's going to be in a spot to where he might be killed. And so, he technically did not realize he was actually working for a parasite until, you know, Izumi spoke up and told him. So I wonder exactly what role this dude is going to have later on in the future. I mean, is he going to be, like a reoccurring character? Is he going to die? I mean, there's a lot of questions I have, but besides that, besides those overall elements, I mean, you have the ending part with the fortune teller. Now, that fortune teller, that also, once again, shows you the change in Izumi. Like, as I said in the earlier parts of the video, like right at the beginning, Izumi states that, "Get out of my way, humans." And that right there is just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And then after that, you see it to where he actually announces to the fortune teller, like, "Oh, I killed that person that put a hole in my heart." So, damn. Just damn. So, yeah, that's pretty much this episode of Parasyte. It was a good episode. Fucking great episode. I love the instincts and stuff. It was something I was really into watching this episode. And, I mean, episodes of Parasyte don't need to be fights, crazy action fights. I love the inner workings of the psychological psyche of different characters. That's something I really love. And to see how this was displayed in this episode, I fucking love this episode. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.